Okay, for real this time. Fuck! Ah, god damn it. I guess I have to do the intro. Well, anyways, credit to Dreaded Shadow for the credit to B Major for this, and I think that's what he tried to do in the last episode. But welcome to All Things Nerdy, the podcast from Nerds for Nerds. And it's just me and Tyler for this episode, so we can technically say that this is the episode of the Floridians, if you know what I mean.
The Floridians, we rise up.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, the first topic we're gonna talk about, how hype are you for Sonic the Hedgehog 3 on a scale of 1 to 10?
9.
Hell yeah, I give it a 10 for my hype excitement. And B mentioned in the podcast 2 episodes ago that Keanu Reeves is going to be voicing Shadow the Hedgehog, and let me tell you, whoever's idea that was, they were cooking with the casting, because Keanu
Give them
Reeves...
$1 million right now. Give them $1 million for that, just for that idea alone, right now.
Yes, exactly. Whoever thought of this idea, give them a raise, because that is just genius.
Yeah. I watched that trailer, too. It was very interesting how they brought Shadow Keanu Reeves' voice on, and I just thought it was funny how Knuckles is like, this hedgehog more impressive than the one I fought previously.
Dude, I'm standing right here.
Dude, I'm right here.
And for context, we were referencing what was in the trailer.
Yeah, spoiler warning if you haven't seen the trailer yet.
Yeah, and also, another thing I'm gonna give props to, Jim Carrey usually doesn't do sequels, but this film franchise is an exception, because he returned for the second one, and he's coming back for the third one. And
after his initial retirement, too.
And Sonic fans are making an understandable prediction that Metal Sonic may be the actual threat for Sonic the Hedgehog 3 because of what was seen in the trailer. And you know what? I understand why, if that's the case, given the fact that they did tease that Dr. Eggman and Sonic the Hedgehog may team up against Shadow the Hedgehog for the entirety of the movie.
You want to know what my theory is?
What's that?
To be perfectly fair? I think they're going to do a Sonic Adventure 2 route, where in the end they're going to have to stop the Ark from falling, crashing on Earth and destroying it. They're going to have to fight the Bio Lizard, which is the prototype of Shadow.
And then they're gonna piss on the moon. I had to brought the joke in.
Oh, don't worry. They're gonna piss on it halfway through the movie.
They're gonna piss on the moon, and the Sonic
fans are making
jokes saying we're gonna piss on the moon with the movie.
I'm gonna make an announcement. Shadow the Hedgehog's a bitch ass mother.
Yes, exactly. You know the meme, bro.
Who doesn't at this point? Who
exactly. Doesn't? You're goated if you. You're goated if that meme has been around from day one.
Bro, Snapcube, when they made that fan dub, they were cooking.
They were cooking. It's funny. And also, the second topic we are gonna talk about here, from what I have some knowledge about this, but iShowSpeed is a YouTube streamer who was on tour in Europe, and there was a crowd of people in Norway to where they had the same energy as him, but they pretty much assaulted him and pulled his hair. And I'm sitting here as much as Speed can be energetic, he doesn't deserve this type of stuff. Yes, he's loud, but that's not an excuse to assault somebody.
Yeah, being loud, that could be part of their characteristic. If you don't like it, just back off. You don't like it.
Keep your distance from loud noises if you don't like loud noises. Like,
If you don't
remember,
let people in your space, keep away from theirs. Bubble space
exactly.
for everybody.
Like, if you have the money for it, my suggestion is that if you were to be like I shall speed level of loud, buy some soundproof, like, buy some soundproof foam and put it on your walls. Like, that's what I would do. Like, for example, our one of our high school teachers would have some soundproof wall panels in their room because in their classroom because there were some students that can be loud and disrespectful.
Yeah, I remember that clearly.
I remember that as
Boy,
well.
were there quite a, there were quite a few. There were quite a few.
And I don't know if it's still bad given the fact that you graduated 3 years ago and I graduated 2 years ago. I almost said
Yeah,
four, but I stopped
yeah. I was
myself.
about to say, I'm your senior, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. I'm
Exactly.
your senior.
Like, we're
But
both
yeah,
graduates of that school, so we don't know how bad it's going to be, but I'll say this much. Even though this is a bit off topic, there is a place around there called Hangry Joe's, and I am applying there, so if you see me in person, feel free to come say hi.
all right.
Yeah, and
Hey,
that's not just to
and
you, that's also to our audience.
also, fun fact. You know the school we were in, we graduated from. You know how they renamed the school, right?
Yeah.
Well, my apparently my sister is going there now.
Alright. And
Yeah, she's in middle school and she's going there. I'm like, oh, that's great.
yeah. And I'm gonna go a bit and we're gonna go back on topic for the I shall speed topic that we were talking about here. In Germany, he was wanting to buy a car, but he was turned down, which honestly that's and the person who turned him down was racist because of I shall speed skin color, which he's a dark skinned, and I'm not saying that to be racist. I'm just saying that to describe his characteristic appearance wise. And in one country I don't remember on the top of my head, he asked the question of how do you say book in your language, and there was a crowd that was being racist by saying the N word, and he admitted on and after the Norway situation, he admitted on Twitter that he is never going to Norway again. And to be honest, I understand why he is not going to go to Norway again. Like if I had something like that happen to me, I'm not going to Norway again for that specific reason. That specific part of Norway is where I'm not going to go.
Yeah, it's a darn shame that I show speed. Yeah, he has some had made mistakes before,
Yep.
you know, and some people may not like him. But me personally, I mean, if he's gonna do his thing, we all seen him struggle. We all seen how his life can be sometimes. But you know, yeah, there's some things that we can't excuse, like the I show meat incident.
Yeah, like from when he unintentionally he flashed his dick on camera from when he was playing Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach Ruin.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Even though it was probably clearly an accident for him, that's still
Yeah,
inappropriate. But even though there's things like that we can't excuse him for, there's things that still like he doesn't still deserve all that disrespect, all that criticism over one or two mistakes because the internet, it can be very cruel at times. And
exactly.
so, yeah, it's like the Twitter pandemic where everyone's like roasting each other or saying you suck, or they're all ganging on you and all that. And I just think everyone needs to just chill out, think, and actually realize what the hell they're doing. Like, are they just gonna bully, or are you going to be actual human being adults and actually get to hell together?
Exactly. Like, there was one private incident that I'll admit, I almost wanted to talk to you about that, but I would rather not do that on recording because we all agreed to not talk about it publicly. And you're not gonna. and you're not going to get any information out of me publicly, so I would rather talk about it privately than publicly, because if we were to talk about it publicly, it would start unnecessary drama.
And
Which,
some backlash. Yeah, I know.
yeah,
I know the
like
drill. I know the drill. If it
like
has to be private, it
in
has to be private. You know,
yeah,
if it can't be public, they
it,
can't be public.
and why I say that is because the thing that I'm worried about is that if it was to be leaked and if there was some backlash, the thing that I'm worried about is if there would be false accusations against me, and I do not take being falsely accused lightly.
I don't think anyone would. When I was falsely accused a couple times before in the past, I mean, I personally felt on the offensive side and offended. You know, it's like, but I didn't do it.
Exactly,
And
like
there's clearly I know I didn't do it. And even though there may not be proof, or there is proof of it, you know, you can't just go around like throwing words or rumors or even gossip about anyone just because either you feel offended by them or you feel like, oh, I think this is true. I'm gonna spread it now.
yeah, like my suggestion, like I don't talk about stuff unless if there is proof.
Same for me. Like it has to be confirmed, like confirmed evidence that's
Exactly.
100% true. I don't go off of rumor alone.
And you want to know a fun fact? Dead by Daylight has a choose your own adventure single player game called The Casting of Frank Stone.
Yeah. Also, have you heard that Five Nights at Freddy's is coming to that game?
Yeah, we already talked about that in the last All Things Nerdy episode.
Ah.
Yeah, and as for the casting of Frank Stone, it was released earlier this month, and I wasn't surprised there are Dead by Daylight fans that are going wild on Twitch to stream the game. But one thing I find amazing about that is that the game has a Twitch integration. Whenever there's like two options, there's like a poll in the Twitch chat where they get to decide what option you pick. And to be honest, that is sick. Like, if I was to stream the game myself, I would have that turned on. That way, both my YouTube audience and my Twitch audience can both have fun watching the stream. And the reason on why I say that is because July 16th, 2024, which is the starting day of Horror Game Season 2024, was from when I started doing multi-streams on YouTube and Twitch, to where or whenever I play a single player game on stream, I'll stream on both of the two platforms at the same time. But if it's multiplayer, then it is going to mainly be Twitch, on where my primary source of streaming is going to be at. And as for other stuff that I'm going to mention here, who knows where the how do I word this? Who knows if we'll get like another game that's multiplayer that's gonna have its own single player game at some point. Like, for example, Project Playtime being the multiplayer game of Poppy Playtime. And from when we mentioned big content creators 2 topics ago now, Nikocado Avocado was having some drama of him losing weight. Like, well, not in a way to like, there were some people that were celebrating his weight loss, and then a few days later, Nikocado confirmed that he did not lose weight. Like, he was not ready for the videos to be out yet. And we're just sitting here like, bruh, why you gotta lie about your weight loss? And why I say that is because in a video from Ryan's Pictures, Nikocado Avocado is in the category of the 7 deadly sins of gluttony because of the fact that he throws away his health for content, for mukbang content. And to be honest, I just don't understand why that he would lie about his weight loss. And before that news happened, he's been throwing away his life for content. Like he's been having broken ribs, and he's just been he like weighs like around 300 to 500 pounds, which that is heavy as fuck. Like, this man needs exercise at this point, to be honest. Like, other mukbang content creators that I can think of, like Matt Stoney, for example, like, they, they keep their shape. Like, they work out after they do their mukbang. And as for this topic, the good, the bad, and the ugly of Minecraft, I'm gonna be honest, the game is still fun, but the fact that Warner Brothers is making a film about it, I honestly don't understand why that they're doing a live action. We've seen the reviews for Borderlands. We know how bad it is. And as for the Minecraft movie, like, the CGI is, I agree with the Minecraft fans that the idea of having, like, CGI is honestly pretty bad. And let alone the human characters are not blocky. Like, where is this film going, man? Like, Warner Bros. If you're
Literally, fan made content looks a million times better than that.
exactly, like, and there are some people that are like on the Sonic the Hedgehog mission to where, like with the first movie, for example, we had ugly Sonic, and what did Paramount do? They delayed the film so that they can fix his design. And you know what? And it's a good
Yeah,
thing that
yeah,
we
they
don't
need,
have
yeah,
ugly
yeah,
Sonic.
yeah. They need to do something like exactly like that for Minecraft, because that
Exactly.
first trailer left a bad taste in everyone's mouth, and that's all I
Like,
gotta say.
and if they keep it as the film that it's currently in right now, it is going to be absolutely garbage. Like, matter of fact, if they do that, they can keep the dialogue in. It's just they should animate it instead. Like,
Yes, they should 100% animate it, live action it. It don't fit well,
like
especially when it comes with Jack Black. Like Jack Black with Kung Fu Panda, it works, but
exactly
with Jack
with
Black
my
in real life with Minecraft, if it's gonna flop worse than the fish.
and he looks nothing like Steve. Like, let me show you his design real quick. Like, give
He
your
just
honest
looks like a
thoughts on the
normal.
backlash of the Minecraft film with how bad it looks.
Yeah,
Like, this is his design. This looks bad. Like, this looks nothing
that
like
is,
Steve.
dude is just Jack Black as Jack Black at
It's
this point
just
with a blue
Jack.
shirt.
It's just Jack Black with a blue shirt. That looks nothing like Steve. Like, Jack, I love you as an actor and all, but that is not Steve.
Like, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to clean you up, big guy.
Exactly. Like, he just looks like a homeless person. That looks nothing like Steve. Like, it looks so bad.
Yeah, like Steve doesn't have a beard that big or hair that long,
Yeah,
you know.
my hair my hair almost goes down to my nipples, and Steve's hair is not that long.
Yeah, his hair is like normal, like to here, you know, like
Exactly, like
actual, like
something like your hairstyle, for example. And as for the beard, like it, I can like picture like something flattened.
yeah, like one of those policeman beards, mustaches, you
Exactly,
know.
or like a cowboy esque facial hairstyle.
Yeah, like a western style. Yeah,
Exactly. And to be honest, I feel like that if Warner Bros. Is going to keep it as a live action, it's going to be bad. So my suggestion is, and I agree with the rest of the Minecraft fans, they should delay the planned release, re rework on the film to where it's animated instead of live action. Well, or if they want to keep like some moments of live action, do what Rockadoodle did, to where there's a balance of live action while most of the film is animated.
just to keep it interesting.
Exactly. Like, I grew up with the Rockadoodle movie, and I honestly loved it as a kid. And looking at it now, it's one of those films to where it's a fun bad. But the Minecraft film with the current state it's in, it is absolute garbage. And
Yeah, the only thing I wish that they wouldn't do if they do a little live action here and there, I just hope they don't bring any of the CGI stuff, like none of it.
exactly. And as for Jason Momoa, like there was rumors that the streamer Valkyrie was going to have a cameo in there, and she confirmed that Jason Momoa was having like a bad day at work to the point where he mistreated the crew. And I'm sitting here like, Jason, why do you got to do this shit, bro? And he's not the first person to do it, but he is. But we all know that he's not going to be the last one either, because there is bound to be like a low celebrity that's gonna lose their shit for having a bad day at work.
Yeah, there's good and there's bad days. If you're having
Exactly,
a bad day, it's usually going to spread to a couple other people because the negativity just rubs on people.
exactly. And with how, and because of Jason Momoa's mistreatment towards the staff of the film, like I understand that films can be frustrating, but that is not an excuse of your actions, man.
Like you're a full-grown adult at like one.
I want to say he's like around his 40s or 50s. I'll look it up after the podcast episode. And
Yeah,
also,
continue.
yeah, audience, if you're easily emotional, I hope you have some tissues with you, because prepare to be emotional for this topic. Because September 9th of this year, 2024, James Earl Jones passed away at the age of 93 from diabetes. And at the time of recording this episode, Maggie Smith, yesterday, at the time of recording the podcast, which is September 28th, she passed away at September 27th at the age of 89. And I'm going to give my honest thoughts on how I think of them as actors from when they were alive. Starting with James Earl Jones, with how he was the first one that I mentioned, like I grew up with him as the voice of, well, I'm pretty sure we all grew up with him as the voice of Darth Vader from the Star Wars series, and Mufasa from the animated Lion King, and he was also uh, Doom from Conan the Barbarian, which Conan the Barbarian I've seen a few days ago. And to the person who showed me this, who you know who you are, but for privacy reasons, I'll not say your name, but I'm happy you introduced me to the film. I enjoyed it. And as for Darth Vader, like, for when we look back to the Star Wars films, it's not gonna feel the same hearing Darth Vader's voice anymore.
Yeah, even though it sounds similar in AI, it ain't gonna feel the same.
Exactly.
It ain't gonna hit as hard. You know, he was like our for Star Wars. Darth Vader was like the icon of Star Wars at that point.
Exactly.
Like, like for him to suddenly have one voice actor that literally voiced him his entire life almost to now be gone, and now we have to listen to his voice play back in AI format. It really is not going to hit the same. It really is not. It's disappointing.
Yeah. And as for Maggie Smith, she was Minerva from the Harry Potter series when it comes to the movies. Like, what's the character's full name? I have a feeling I'm gonna butcher this last name, but Minerva McGonagall.
McGonagall?
Yes, thank you. And to be honest, like, same case with the Star Wars films, it's not gonna feel the same aim anymore with how she recently passed away. And credit to Robbie Coltrane, who passed away October 14th, 2022, for this quote, but it's gonna be like a I will not be here forever, but Hagrid will type of situation. And though in those words for Robbie's last words from when he passed away at the time, damn, that hits hard. Like,
Those that
that's
that's
gonna
the
be me.
last word of the century, bro.
like that's gonna like those are gonna be my last words for when I'm the voice of writer for when the Mirrorgate universe gets adapted. Like for if I'm like old as fuck at the time to the point to where I send my goodbye message saying, "In this, I may not be around on forever, but Writer Uchi will." And to be honest, it's not. And I'm gonna give my honest thoughts when it comes to Harry Potter. I love the series. I just do not like J.K. Rowling because of the fact that J.K. Rowling is transphobic. And I and here's one point that I'm gonna bring up of that. From last year, from when Hogwarts Legacy came out, like there was a harassment campaign to where there were some people harassing innocent people saying that they're transphobic for supporting J.K. Rowling, and they're just showing their love. While they're just showing their love for Harry Potter, not to be transphobic. They're just showing love for a beloved franchise. Not, not for the writer, just for the franchise.
Yeah, honestly, I don't get all those like sexuality, like transphobism and all that junk. Me personally, I know what I'm into, like, and I just think that people that fight over, oh, I'm gay, so you gotta accept me, and blah blah blah, like, don't force it on me.
Exactly.
If you're gay or you're bisexual or you're trans, do
Like
it at
if
your
you're,
own time.
like
Do
if
your own time. Don't enforce it on others. Don't expect to be accepted. Like, we'll be okay with it as long
ex-
as you're not shoving it down our throats.
exactly like if you're some, like if you're bisexual or pansexual, as long as you're irrespectful about it, then we have no issues with it. Like for example, I'm pansexual and there's no issues with it. And as a matter of fact, so, like some of my, like I have some friends that are in the LGBTQ community that is transgender, non-binary, and they could also be like a gender blend. Like for example, like there are some femboys and tomboys out there.
Yeah, like, I'm a straight man, and I'm not much of. I'm not in the LGBT community, but I'm cool with all that. I'm
Exactly.
fine. Like, everyone can be okay with it. It just has to do with the fact they're shoving it down our throats, like repeating, accept it, accept it, accept it, get it down your throat, get it down your throat. Like, okay, we understood it the first time you told us. We accept that. Be on your way. We'll be on our way.
Yeah.
Like, like if you're mad because I'm not gay with you, like, don't be upset just because I'm not gay as well. It's our sexual. Like, if you want to say, "Well, I feel this way, so you should also feel this way," that ain't acceptance. That's called trying to change someone from who they are if they've already accepted who they are.
Exactly.
Like, like another example. I'm straight and you're pansexual. What if I were to try to turn him gay or straight fully? Like,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
wouldn't
No,
be
I'm
right
not.
with
I'm
me.
not somebody that's like that. Like you get to choose your sexual orientation. Like for example, he choose like as an example, your sexual orientation is heterosexual and my sexual orientation is pansexual. And I'm one of those pansexuals to where like er my interests are mostly in opposite genders. And
Yep.
as for another topic we're going to talk about here, B lost his shit from when he saw this, but Ace Attorney and is having cosmetics in Among Us for free. Well, I'm pretty sure that they. Oh, I don't know if it's over or not at the time of recording this podcast, but but they're free, and I don't know this character's name, but I know that they have spiky hair and they're dressed in red. I think it's something Phoenix. But B knows what I'm talking about here if he's watching or listening to the podcast. But they have cosmetics for him. And to be honest, like we can in Among Us for those who got that cosmetic. They can like pretty much be on like on a trial if it's classic Among Us where like are you innocent or are you guilty? So it can be like a innocent until proven guilty, and it can add more fun to the classic mode for Among Us.
I
And
mean, it just sounds like Among Us, but a little worded differently, you know? Like,
exactly.
are you innocent or are you guilty? Are you imposter or are you crewmate? Same thing.
Yeah, like all I know about Ace Attorney is that it's a Capcom game to where you're basically in a courtroom on a trial to and there are like and there are some cases to where like the people can be innocent or they could be guilty for committing crimes.
You're like a lawyer that's like a detective in that game. It's kind of how it works, I think.
Yeah, based on what I know, yes.
Because I haven't played any of those games
I
myself.
haven't played any of these games myself either.
But I've seen how they play them, and it is like it's being a detective and a lawyer at the same time.
And I'm gonna give my honest thoughts about the PlayStation 5 Pro. It's honestly stupid on how it's overpriced. Like, while the normal PlayStation 5 is $300 to $500, while PlayStation Pro is $700, but the Pro console doesn't have a disc tray while the normal one does. And there's like barely any difference on the graphics. Like, it just feels like a scam, a cash grab. Like,
Yeah, it's like they put pro in the name and just made it $200 more expensive, and that's all they did. Put
exactly.
pro in the name. That's all they did. There's no. It's like having a software update with barely any to no changes, but instead of doing that, they put it as a whole new console and called it two or pro and made it like 50 to 100 to even $200 more expensive than the original console that you could have just online, and you could have just had that for free. But no, they want to be like, we want more money. Put a new system for like a little local update that barely changes nothing, and just put pro in the name. Boom, a new system
Yeah,
for
like
$200 more. Like,
when it
really?
when it comes to its like competitors, when it comes to console gaming, like the Nintendo Switch is usually $300 to $350 for a normal one, and it's $200 for a Nintendo Switch Lite. And when it
Yeah, and
comes to
For OLED, it's only like $50 more than the original one.
exactly, and as for Xbox Series S is 250 if I remember correctly, and Xbox Series X is the same price as a normal PlayStation 5, $300 to $500. And to be honest, the Pro just feels like a cash grab scam. And these two individuals, we talked about them last episode of the All Things Nerdy podcast, but EDP445 and Dr. Disrespect has made responses of the allegations against them. But we're going to start off with EDP445 because he said 3 years worth allegations because back at 2021, he was banned on YouTube because of the fact that he was called out for being a pedophile, and he was caught again 2023 by Skater Gene and Gideon because he got caught being a pedophile a second time. Like, bro, why wait until this year to make a response about your actions? Like, make a real response, like not any fake apology bullshit. Just
A response. Well, yeah,
exactly.
like it's ridiculous. Why wait a whole year just to say anything about any
Let
allegations that's being
let
opposed to
alone
you?
let alone 3 years. Because
Yeah,
3 years ago, at the time of recording this podcast, he was exposed for being a predator. Like, there's been leaks of him being inappropriate with minors in DMs on, I don't know what platform, I want to say like Instagram or something. And there is like a video that I've seen to where like Jadian was like checking on the victim to make sure that she's doing okay, and she's making a file against EDP 445. And one of the things that I know that he said was "fuck you, bitch." And to be honest, like that is not something you should say to a minor. That is not something you should say to a minor female whatsoever, because that is a big red flag right there, bro.
That's not just a red flag.
That's a crime.
That's it. No, that's not even just a crime. Like that's like socially that's like shunful. Like you can literally be out in public and free thrown freaking tomatoes, and I bet that's more normal than your actions at this point.
Exactly. Like, as a matter of fact, like we have like we in the buddy server, pedophilia will result in an instant ban because that is actually illegal. It doesn't matter what country you're from, that shit is illegal and should not fly whatsoever.
Yeah, like don't think you're in a country where like the legal age of consent is lower. Like there are some countries where it's lower. I mean,
Like,
but
as
but
an
yeah, like an example, like Japan, they only recently brought it up to 16. Originally, it was like 13.
nah, bro.
I'm not kidding.
That
They
is
they
wild
haven't
as shit. Like,
yeah, like not that long. Like, bro, why
like
do you think?
like when it comes to like the age of consent, and like it's it's 18 in most states, and in some it can be like 17-ish if I know correctly, but
And I think in another country, I think the legal age of consent in one other country, I think said was 12.
nah,
Yeah,
that's
this is
just so stupid. Like,
that is like
have
the
it at
one way
18
ticket
at
for.
most, bro. Like 18 to 21 at most, because as an example, like I cannot legally drink in the States until next year, but I can legally drink in Canada. So if I did it in Canada, it would technically not be illegal because you can drink
Yeah,
at
but you have
19
to
in
be.
Canada.
Yeah, but you have to be in Canada for that whole thing.
Exactly. Like I'm just bringing that point up,
Hmm.
and as for the other person, Doctor Disrespect, like it from a little recap of the allegations against him. 4 years ago, he was banned on Twitch because he was inappropriately texting a minor through Twitch whispers, and it was confirmed that they were trying to meet up at TwitchCon. And to be honest, that's just stupid. And and then back at June 2024, Doctor Disrespect confirms that he was texting a minor inappropriately. We don't know the age. We just know that it was a minor, and it was back at 2017, which that is absolutely unexcusable. And then a few months later, it he tries to lie about his claim, saying that he used the word inappropriate just to bait journalists. Like that is
Like
not.
you, like why would you try to bait journalists? Like this is causing more backlash to you because it sounds more like admitting it instead of like, hey, I'm just baiting some journalists. Like, bro, you're at this point you're just admitting it. Like,
Exactly,
why
like
lie about it right after?
you already admitted that you were inappropriately texting a minor, bro. Like it's like a Boogie 29. It's like the Boogie 2988 situation where
Yeah, like
he was like I didn't scam people. I'm just stupid, and you can't be mad at that. Like that is just a stupid ass response. That is cringe as
bro,
fuck if you're gonna
bro,
do that.
bro. He's literally being a white blonde chick trying to get out of a driver's ticket from a policeman. Like
Exactly.
I'm like, bro, you're trying to get out of something you can't escape out of pure stupidity alone.
It's like and there's gonna be one more topic about content creator allegations later on in this episode of the podcast here, and I just noticed that we went one ahead from the PS5 Pro one, but we're not gonna worry about that right now. Powerpuff Girls is gonna be joining the multiverses roster for season 7 of the relaunch, and in season 2, based on what I know of, we've had Samurai Jack and Beetlejuice. And I was correct about my prediction that Beetlejuice made it in multiverses for the promotion of the second Beetlejuice movie.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Yeah, funny story, the film is actually called Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, and let me show you something real quick.
Soon the title for the third
Even though this is
movie
a bit
will
off
literally just be
topic, not
summoning
this is
him.
not sponsored, but Fanta is doing a collaboration with Beetlejuice for the second film.
That's fire. Absolute fire.
Absolutely. And I've been hearing people say that the second film is good, but not as good as the first film. And I can't say anything for myself, given the fact that I've only seen the first one.
I only seen snippets of the first one. I don't think I've seen the second one at all yet.
Yeah.
So
And as for Powerpuff Girls joining multiverses, I expected them to be their own character, but no, it's a trio in one playable character roster. Like it's like a duck hunt it's like a duck hunt in Smash Bros type of deal, to where instead of it being one character, it's all three. Like Blossom, Bubbles, and what was the other character's name?
Buttercup.
Yeah, Buttercup. Thank you. They're I expected all three of them to be their own character, but er, but they're all playable, and their
Like
moveset is
not
interesting. I'll say
so
that.
like so you're saying they're not like a selectable style between you can choose between the Powerpuff Girls, like you play as all three of them at once.
Yes.
So dang, it's like the Bluebird from Angry Birds.
And like what I said, it's like Duck Hunt in Smash Bros.
Yeah. Like you know the tiny Bluebird from Angry Birds, you know how when you tap them it turns into three?
Yes.
It's like that. But there was never one to begin with. There was always three. And you play as three at
And
once.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I would, if there was like an Angry Birds remake but on PC, I would be willing to play that. Like, as a
Yeah,
matter of fact, Cut the Rope is gonna potentially be on Steam sometime around later this decade.
yeah. I would love it if they could bring back the original, like the OG Angry Birds.
Exactly.
If they ever did that, everyone's gonna jump on that, even if it costs a whole $1.99 to play on like the App Store. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
And you want to know, what is a questionable collaboration? Coca-Cola and Oreos is collaborating with each other, and I've tried both the Coca-Cola flavored Oreos and the Oreo flavored Coca-Cola, and I'm gonna be honest, the Coca-Cola weirdly tastes like Oreos, while the Oreos weirdly taste like Coca-Cola.
Did it taste very off because of it, or did it taste good still?
It was good. I honestly think they're good. It's weird on how it tastes like that.
It's like vanilla Coke, but with a little
Exactly.
sprinkle of chocolate.
Exactly. That is how I can describe the flavor of the cola. And as for the Oreos themselves, like, it actually tasted like cola, and I was like, wow. It legit, like, I'm not joking when I say this, like, they both taste like each other, and it's weird on how it tastes good.
If they taste like each other, give me the Oreos. Then I love Coca Cola.
Like, I actually have some Coca-Cola flavored Oreo cookies downstairs, but I'm not gonna get them right now.
Yeah, we got a podcast to run. We have no time for cookies.
Yeah, and we also got no time for milk. And that was a joke.
Or titties.
Speaking of, that would it would honestly feel a bit weird, like dipping Coca-Cola flavored Oreos in milk.
Breast milk.
Shut the fuck up. Okay.
I had to throw it in there. I had to just for funny content. I had
Okay.
to.
And also, as for like one of the YouTube topics that we're gonna talk about, like last time we talked about stuff that was YouTube related, its old CEO passed away of cancer this August at the time of recording this podcast episode. And there has been a big situation to where there is all types of illegal bots on YouTube. Like, especially when it comes to bigger content creators, like there are some bots that will try to scam people, or it's just like sex bots saying stuff that is against the terms of service. And there's also inappropriate profile pictures. Like, God,
Yeah.
what is going on with YouTube right now, man?
Yeah, bro, like YouTube has all these regulations, but all these ads, like phone ads, have you seen how ridiculous some of them can be?
Like, as a
Like,
matter
oh,
of fact, like there are some ads that are a fucking scam, and they are and they are strict as fuck when it comes to ad blockers. At this point, just get YouTube like at this point, just stop fighting against the ad blockers, because there are some people that are not wanting to get YouTube Premium. Like, the only reason on why I have YouTube Premium is because of family media. Like, oh my god.
yeah, like, yeah, but it's either you have YouTube Premium or you're just screwed with the ads. Like,
Exactly. Like, I have an ad. Like, my Opera has the built in ad blocker turned on, and I still have to deal with ads for if I'm not subscribed to the Twitch streamers that I watch. And
yeah, it's
follows and
like,
subs are different, because how I can describe Twitch subs for those who have been on YouTube for a while is that it's basically like YouTube memberships.
it's like the join button,
Exactly.
while the follow button is like the subscribe button.
Exactly. And understand, and I'm gonna bring this up real quick. Like, it was announced like a month or two ago, that we're not gonna have content on. Well, it was announced earlier this month that members only content is no longer going to be a thing on Patreon when it comes to members only videos. And an understandable thought that I've been asking myself is, what way can we do members only content with how we're not going to use Patreon anymore? Like, should we wait until we're able to have YouTube membership, or should we try it out on a different platform?
What about discount prices?
I don't know.
Well, I'm just throwing things out there, like example. You could like for like if you're like a certain member, like depending on how high tier membership you get, like yeah, it'll be a little pricier, but only by like a couple of dollars. And then for like the maximum one, you get the most out of it because you get the more like a normal Patreon subscription.
Yeah. And an
But
understandable thought that I have in my mind is that for by time when the buddies channels can have memberships, the VIP one would be the most expensive, because it would be all the prices in one. Like, let's say for example we have director's cut and behind the scenes as its own thing for $5 per month, like how The Boys, for example, would charge $5 per month for members, and we have VIP for $10 per month. And and when it comes to the bots comment when it comes to the comment bot situation, like, it's not just YouTube that has this problem. Like, Twitter has this problem, because Twitter and TikTok and Instagram also has this problem, because if you say that if you have a hacked account, they're just gonna try to make things worse by giving you fake accounts just to scam you and make your situation worse.
don't they do that on Twitch too?
No.
No,
Like
oh,
the
that's good.
Well, the most that Twitch does is that they would try to say that they want to offer you promotion, or they just claim to be an artist, but in reality, they're just a scammer, and that's a problem. Like, as a matter of fact, like, I have a bot in my chat called SariBot, to where if it detects that stuff, that bot or scammer is gonna get the ban hammer.
Slice in half with that katana.
Yes. That's a good way to view it. And when it comes to Instagram, from my experience, the most amount of times that I've been having to deal with bots is if one sneaks into my story views and I find out that's a sex bot. Well, guess what, buddy? Trying to make me fall for a thirst trap is not going to work. Because I'm not stupid enough to fall for that. Like, as an example from last year's Chroma Quest incident of 2023, Gemini and I were victims of a scam, and it was a good thing that the rest of the members of the buddies was on alert because of that. Like, I fell for like, the situation was so bad that it got my family involved in this situation. Like, I'm not joking when I say that. Like, they tried to scam my family members, and my stepdad showed me the DMs, and I confirmed that my account was hacked. Like, I said something about it on YouTube, and my audience said, hey man, sorry that it happened. Twitter and Instagram, they just tried to say, and reach out to this fake account, like, bitch, you think I'm stupid?
Like you must think I have global written on my forehead.
Exactly, like, I'm not, like, on the side of the internet to where I'm brain rotten.
Yeah, like I'm not a 5-year-old that'll click on literally anything just because it's there.
Exactly. Anyways, Call of Duty has had Ghostface the past few years when it comes to licensed slashers. And for this year's Halloween event, we're having Michael Myers from Halloween, Sam from Trick or Treat, and Art the Clown from Terrifier. And I'm gonna be 100% honest, I don't really get why Sam is there, but given the fact that I know that Art the Clown and Michael Myers would use a variety of weapons, I can understand why. Like, Ghostface, for example, uses a variety of weapons. Like, I've seen some clips to where he uses a shotgun in Scream 6. And as for Michael Myers and Art the Clown, I've seen a clip to where Art the Clown would use a pistol. But as for Michael Myers, I haven't seen the Halloween films, but it's on my radar on horror films that I want to watch someday. And same case with Art the Clown. Same case with Terrifier, but the problem is Terrifier is not on any it's not on any streaming service that I have an account for. I think I filled up my water bottle for just in case.
Excuse.
Like, I burped to the point where I almost threw up in my mouth.
Sound like it, bro.
Yeah. And and I understand why content creators are criticizing Nintendo's terms of service when it comes to making content on any source of Nintendo games. Like, what if there are some people that doesn't want to use their voice because they're too shy to do it, or they just don't want to show their face because they want to keep their face private. Like, to be honest, that's just so fucking stupid onto how it's starting to become a problem.
Yeah, it's a similar problem with the eShop. Like, have you seen the eShop in the Switch?
No.
It's full of hentai games.
No shot it is full of that.
Bro, I mean, yeah, they literally have hentai in their name. And on the title, on display.
What the fuck?
And kids play that system, and they publish a
Even
game
adults play
called...
that shit, bro. Like, why
Dude,
would...
yeah, but mostly kids because it's a Nintendo Family System, you know? But what I'm trying to say is, bro, they have hentai in their name. They have it displayed out in the open, bro. Bro, it's one of those side scrollers where it's like a text side scroller where you choose this. Oh, okay, now this option happens, But I'm like, and they do those graphic designs and pictures, and I'm like, man, I'm done.
And you want to know And you want to know what's bad about Nintendo's terms of service when it comes to making content for it? There's a chance we might not have any videos where we'll have no commentary anymore. Like, you're expecting people to go in blind, or are you just expecting this own commentary only
Like, I'm
for it to
expecting
be.
subtitles.
Yeah. What?
Like, basically, are they expecting subtitles with no words to go with it? Just read along. They won't say anything, but just read along. You'll understand what's going on.
Exactly.
But people don't want to
Exactly.
do that. They want to hear emotion. They want to hear a voice. They don't just want to read along and then that's how they find out about it.
And,
Oh, that's how the story goes. And there's the visuals. No, they want emotion. They want action. They want actual commentary.
yeah. And I'm gonna bring up an example here, and spoiler warning for those who are not up to date on the Mirrorgate universe. As an example, there's a plot twist in Fantasy's Virtual Darkness After Dawn, which that plot twist was planned since 2022, which the plot twist was that as Ninja Slash Cancer was dying, Ryder says to Ninja Slash Cancer while he's dying on the floor, the death trap you led me to 25 years ago made me the monster that I am today. And as Ninja Slash Cancer connects the dots, he figures out that Ryder was his friend. Which, I'm not going to say the name that he was known as throughout the rest of the original trilogy of the Dire Ronin Legend saga, so you're on your own if you want to know what that is. But the but if it was adapted, you would see the horror in his eyes after figuring it out. Like, it would be like a surprise to know it, but shocked to know that he betrayed, that someone who was once his friend betrayed an entire dimension. All because he was cursed by the Dark Realm.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. And there's one more topic we're going to talk about when it comes to Nintendo, and I find this really stupid, but the Nintendo and Pokemon Company is suing the studio that made Power World because there are some designs that are similar to other Pokemon designs. Like, and I'm gonna be 100% honest, most of the modern Pokemon games nowadays just feels like a copy and paste, and it's just boring as fuck. While Power World, like, takes a page but in like their own way, and they made their game fun, like a survival game that is fun and solo friendly. Why are we getting, like, why is this game
Well, I
studio getting
mean,
sued for their own original ideas?
because it seemed to most people unoriginal because they have similar designs. But at the same time, it's like if it's original, they shouldn't be harped about it.
Exactly.
But but if they're being harped about it by a company that clearly thinks, oh, they look awfully similar. I think we're gonna have to do a little lawsuit on it. I mean, that's going a little far, don't you think, Pokemon and Nintendo, over
Exactly.
something that was original to begin with?
Like, to be honest, the modern Pokemon games nowadays is just nah. It just doesn't make the cut. While the old ones, the OG ones, like Pokemon Stadium, for example, that shit is golden.
Yeah, that hits home right there. That hits home right
Like,
there.
eh, I have a Legend of Zelda Uno deck in this Pokemon card box, but something I'll admit is that I would love to collect Pokemon cards someday. I just don't know where to start. I just don't know when yet, but for when I get the materials, I would love to start collecting Pokemon cards.
Yep.
And of course, this was a game. This game was in my childhood, but Epic Mickey is getting a remake called Epic Mickey Rebrushed. And I recently played the demo on my gaming channel, and let me tell you, the remake looks beautiful, man. It is
Yep,
beautiful.
chef's kiss, am I right?
Yeah,
Mwah.
it's just mwah, chef's kiss. It is a beautiful game. Like, if that is a nominee for Best Art Direction for the Game Awards 2024, I am voting for that, even if it doesn't win. Like, that is how beautiful it is.
Yeah, it seems very beautiful, you
Like,
know. It's
the
like a beautiful black and white ink style, you know.
it's not
The
just black and
beautiful.
whiting. Like, it's like there's like
It's
it is
it's like
color.
a mix of variety, you know. It's a mix of
Exactly.
variety.
Like, the game is honest. Like, I just want to play the game thinking about it. Like, if I had the game, I would, no questions asked, do a streaming series of it. Like, that is how much I want to play the game. Like, I played the original Epic Mickey on the Wii, and it is a fun-ass game. Like, like, I'm not gonna shut up about the game if I continue talking about it.
I
So,
know it's an emotional part of your childhood. I understand that.
yeah.
You know, me personally, I would say continue on, but for the podcast's sake, I say let's move along.
Yeah. And second to last thing of content creator drama we're gonna talk about here is that Mr. Beast and Logan Paul, the two most controversial content creators in the modern age, is collaborating to make a Lunchables ripoff called Lunchly. And what they did for their advertisements was that they were shitting on Lunchables for, or like the amount of stuff they have. Like, I don't exactly know how to word it, but it's just honestly stupid on how they're just collaborating just for a cash grab to sell freaking lead to people. Like, Prime has 3 lawsuits for containing lead in the drinks. And it's advertised as a sports drink, but it's not a sports drink. It's not. It doesn't have the proper materials for it to be a sports drink.
Yeah, it has more of that stuff for energy drinks. You know, like energy drinks
Exactly.
have like 61 or 60 something or whatever that makes it the energy drink. It has like 20 more of a normal energy drink.
And you want to know, and I'm going to bring up Gamer Subs as an example for this case, because that's an energy drink. And you want to know what flavor I want to do at some point for if the Buddies was to be partnered with Gamer Subs?
Raw meat.
No. You was thinking of Raw Meat by Meat Canyon. So,
I
and
just know that was a flavor. I just know that was.
yeah, an idea that I feel like would be a fun one to do for if the Buddies was to be partnered with Gamer Subs is that we make a flavor called Hydration Juice, and the flavor is blue raspberry lemonade.
Sakurai Splash.
Sakurai Splash is sour cherry.
Yeah, and
I'm just bringing it up. All right. Anyways, back on talking about lunch. Like with how bad like there, like there were people that were shitting on the project on the product because of the people behind it, and it was so bad to the point to where the golden Minecraft YouTuber Dan the Diamond Minecart went on to Twitter saying, "What happened to YouTubers, man?" And he was calling them out for selling crap to kids because because Mr. Beast's fan base is mostly minors, like probably under the age of 10 or hell, maybe under the age of 13, let alone. And same case with Logan Paul. Like, it's just so stupid on how they're just doing it to exploit kids, man. Like, and the
like
fact that
that is almost criminal.
exactly. and Mr. Beast has like been saying that Feastables is healthy chocolate, but nah, it just has a lot of unhealthy stuff in it. Like, that's just so stupid, man. And the fact that he's been having allegations for illegal gambling, illegal lotteries, faking videos, which in other words, he's been committing fraud with his videos, and also has been mistreating his employees, and also has pedophiles in the team. Like, oh my god, where it. Like, at this point, this man is a menace to society and needs to be arrested for his crimes.
Yeah, how did Mr. Beast surpass PewDiePie at this point? Like,
Exactly! Like, PewDiePie is a wholesome dad, and even Dan TDM is a wholesome dad. Like, PewDiePie honestly earned it on being the biggest YouTuber on the platform. Like,
yeah, he deserved it. Mr.
exactly.
Beast, at first, Mr. Beast, he seemed fine, but now he's showing his true colors.
Exactly. And from when the criticism was getting bad, like, he's been deleting comments about the situation, and he's also been doing cease and assists on those who's been criticizing him. Like, bruh. This man either needs to be behind bars or 6 feet under. That is how bad it is. Like the
Yeah,
EDP 445 situation, for example, like with how he's been getting away from his crimes for 3 years, that man needs to be either 6 feet under or behind bars. And last thing about content creator drama we're gonna mention here, well, here like, do do you know the VTuber group VShojo?
me personally, I don't watch VTubers, so I don't know who that is.
Ah, so what I know about VShojo is that it is a VTuber agency, and from this month, like, as TwitchCon was happening, there was news about Iron Mouse's channels being terminated. Like, her VOD's channel was deleted because she didn't want to make a appeal having her personal information being involved. And you know what? I respect Iron Mouse for doing that because I do not want to see her dox herself to the wrong people. And as for her main channel, like, it was terminated for a few days, and it was so bad that there were people talking about it. Like, commentary content creators was talking about it, and and then a few days later, Iron Mouse gets her main channel back, and I'm happy for Iron Mouse that she got her main channel back. And there's another member of VShojo by the name of Apricot, which her nickname is Fruit, and she vented about being in a abusive relationship. And there are some people that are on the boat saying that she's been in a victim of abuse. And to be honest, I honestly feel bad for her, given the fact that I grew up having an abusive father, and he's not in my life anymore because of his actions. And as for, and there's another group of people saying that she's been a cheater. And to be honest, I'm not on anybody's side of that. Like, I just know that she was just somebody who was venting about being in a abusive relationship. Like, to be honest, like, it's a good thing to see that she's venting about her past. That's because she needed to, but at the same time, doing it on Twitter is like the last thing you're gonna want to do, given the fact that nowadays Twitter has like been the source of like places to, like, whenever somebody does stuff that is on hold, like, I don't know how to word this, like, if you were to do actions that would lead towards allegations, Twitter is gonna be on your ass because of the allegations against you.
Yeah. Sometimes I just think actions are being made the wrong way to like stop certain things that either should be either looked over instead of just harshly judged, and I think there should be things that, depending on the situation, don't really need too much investigation for you to realize this person needs harsh punishment, you
Exactly.
know? Like, there's just, like with Dr. Disrespect, there's certain things, like, you can't, like, overlook. Like, you can do some investigating, some popping around, but in the end of the day, you do something wrong, wrong should come to you.
Exactly. Like
Like, it's like good deserves praise,
like P
evil
Diddy, for
deserves to be kicked
example,
over the
was
curb.
P Diddy, for example, was arrested for his crimes. And to be honest, I'm happy he got arrested for his crimes because the shit that he's done is just absolutely
Inexcusable.
unexcusable.
Yeah, inexcusable. There's just no way a person like that should be in our society.
Exactly. And when it comes to Twitch, like the two things that there's two negative notes that I'm gonna talk about here, which is that because of the Iron Mouse situation, Twitch has been on the boat of banning some VTubers when they've done nothing wrong and giving false warnings for sexual themes just for being in a freaking bikini while they let softcore porn slide when it comes to IRL streamers. Like, that is just so fucking stupid. Like, Twitch, I don't know what you're doing, but fix your goddamn platform if you're gonna do that shit. Like,
Either do something about it, fix your system, be more lenient on certain things, but don't actually look over things like you're looking at it like a rumor. You're just believing it
exactly.
and then just kicking it off. While these other people you don't even look over just because they're not very popular and they're doing whatever the hell they feel like, and it could be the most inappropriate thing ever.
Exactly. If you if you were to promote softcore porn on YouTube, that is a recipe of being banned on the platform. While on Twitch, if it was a dude doing that, they would get banned. But if they let a female do it, then they let it slide. Which that is sexism and favoritism right there.
100%. It's like why put it's like a similar situation with those reports with like female teachers having intercourse with their male students. It's a similar situation.
And another note that I'm gonna bring up is that there has been streamers and viewers who has been getting falsely banned on Twitch just for using bits because they have a suspicion that there is stolen accounts or stolen payment information just to buy bits, which that is honestly just stupid, but I hope that gets fixed soon.
Yeah.
Like they and as a matter of fact, they should investigate this before they do that type of stuff, saying, "Hey, was this you?" and and if they say
Like
yes,
do a
then that's when you banned
confirmation.
him, and if they say no, oh, then you're good.
Basically just do a human like confirmation to just but make it simpler, not too complex, but also make sure it's only for that for you.
Exactly. Let's say, for example, if I was to buy some bits with my hard-earned money from, let's say, a 9 to 5 or a graveyard shift, and if they asked me, "Hey, did you spend this money?" and I would say, "Yes, yes, I did," and they would just let me do my thing.
And if they need extra confirmation just in case it's been stolen or something, just give them like a simple like before like anything happens, like a little survey,
Yeah,
but like a one question survey, not like a whole paragraph or whatever. Just like a one question survey, like something simple, like what's your pet's name, or what was this and that on your other personal information that if this was stolen, they still shouldn't know that.
and I'll say this much when it comes to Twitch's payment system, and I know this from my experience, but as a small content creator, you would usually start off with $60 per payment when it comes to being paid throughout Twitch's payout system. And to be honest, that's a good amount of money.
Yeah, especially if we're doing that and streaming, give content. Yeah, content can give work,
Exactly.
but
And
I think computer work and physical labor can be two different things. But I still think they're both hard work in general.
to be honest, I'm somebody who views content creating as a hobby that pays money. I don't think of it as a job. Even if I had like let's say if I was moist critical level of popular or Markiplier level of popular, if I was moist critical level of popular, I would still think of it as a hobby that pays money. But if I was Markiplier level of popular, then the part that I would consider as a job is making adaptations for the Mirror Gay universe or lending my voice for other people. Like, let's say, for example, if I was to lend my voice for, like, a show or a video game. And a positive note I'm going to bring on Twitch is that they announced that they're going to be transparent about bans for if anybody is to cause trouble on their platform. Like, let's say if you were to get banned on Twitch, they'll show you the clip of what you violated. And to be honest, that's a good thing to see Twitch do. Like, I honestly feel like YouTube should have done the same thing. I honestly feel like YouTube should do the same thing as Twitch. Like, show a clip of what was violated.
Yeah, like sometimes you can be told what it is, but it can
Exactly.
be very discreetly told or not very clear on what it is, you know? So if you show like proof of whatever it is, or if you show the proof and it doesn't make any sense of they're telling you with that clip, like let's say they show you a clip of, let's say you did something wrong and there's a clip of it,
Exactly.
but what if that clip shows clearly that, oh, that wasn't a violation. Just call them up and say, "Hey, I got a clip of this and that," and they can fix the system, you know. Because hey, I like you said this is a violation for this reason and that, but it shows like completely different.
Exactly. And another positive note that I can bring to Twitch is that they have like a five strikes you're out system, which the fifth strike leads to a ban, but uh, each of the four strikes will go down in a certain amount of time if you stay out of trouble. If you're somebody that plays by the rules, like for example, I play by the rules on both YouTube and Twitch when it comes to my content. And when it comes to making mature themed jokes, I know my limits when it comes to the terms of service. And the last topic we're going to talk about here for the podcast of all things nerdy, Netflix is going to be having a Devil May Cry and Tomb Raider anime. He's clapping.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry and
Tomb Raider. Like,
yeah,
to be
yes, let's go,
and
let's
I'm gonna be
go.
100% honest here. The animations for both of them, like it is just chef's kiss. And let's be 100% real here. The fact that Devil May that the Devil May Cry anime is going to be based off of Devil May Cry 3, that's insane. But as for Tomb Raider, the animation looks so fucking good. Like, I will watch that shit when it goes live.
Yeah, for Devil May Cry, I can't wait to see on the Netflix format anime adaptation to see Dante and Virgil clashing at it again.
Bro,
I
like,
can't wait. I can't wait.
bro, like, if the animation is golden, if the story is just right, then no questions asked will it be a 10 out of 10. And as for
Yeah, just
Tomb
stick.
Raider,
All they have to do is stick to the original source. That's all they have to do.
exactly, like with Cyberpunk Edge Runners, for example, they stayed with the source material for the games, but they basically told the stories. They told the story of what happens before the events of the game, and that was what got people back into the Cyberpunk 2027 game. 2020 2077 game, sorry.
I would,
And
I would, I would call that successful promotion too.
exactly. And the anime is so fucking good. Like,
It's mind-boggling how good
exactly.
it is.
Like,
It's like
I've
it's like a
watched
10
the
out of 10 would watch again, basically.
yeah, like I've watched the anime 3 times and it is still good. So,
Yes, sir.
and I did the intro for this episode, so you do the outro.
All right, that's it for All Things Nerdy podcasts. Be sure to follow him on Patreon and see him on Twitch.
What? Patreon? What do you mean?
Cut that out.
Cut
Cut that
that.
out.
And then Sakura
Cut that
leaves it
out.
in.
Cut that out. So suddenly, Sakurai Splash.
Sakura Splash. That would be funny.
Suddenly, even though we're not sponsored, we're suddenly sponsored by Gamers. Even though we're not.
But you want to know what? You want to know what the Buddies has for sponsorship? Rogue Energy. Use code Yup It's the Buddies at RogueEnergy.com.
Yep, you heard the man. Use code. Use what he said.
You're pointing at the
I
wrong
am.
way, my man. There you go. Yeah. Oh shit. Alright.
Buddy time.
Nevertheless, see you guys. Are we gonna do any Floridian vlogs?
I don't know. You tell me.
In case we do, see you in the Buddies vlogs.